All right, Chase Sexton, another crazy day of racing. You guys just keep going back and forth with this thing, man. It has got to be so wild to be living it, huh?
It is. We just can't seem to get away from each other. So I think the guy that loses the first moto has that much more motivation going into the second one, and that was me today. So was able to keep the pressure on, and knowing that if he wins second moto, he can go 2-2 at Paul and win. So that was something I had in my mind, and I went out there and got a good start. And I knew if I could hole shot and get out front and not have to come through the pack, that I'd have a little bit more energy, and that was kind of my game plan. So executed that, and got 2 more motos we need to execute next weekend.
In the first moto, did he catch you by surprise a little bit, the way he got to you and around you? Because it seemed like you kind of flustered a little bit after it happened, right?
Yeah, I wasn't really surprised he caught me. Lappers, I feel like, played a big role, especially on the top section. I lost a lot of time when I didn't jump over that last roller, and he sucked me up, and he was going fast. He found a lot of my lines, or some of them, and I guess connected him with his and made it work. So you can hear that Yamaha from pretty far back. So I knew he was there, and when he got around me, he dropped me pretty fast, which I wasn't really expecting. So I closed back up last lap, but obviously it was too late, and I knew I had to get after a second moto. So obviously would have loved to go 1-1, but to win the overall and keep it at 1 point is not too shabby either.
In the first moto, you got to line up first, and then he lined up outside of you. So the second moto, he lines up first, and then you line up 2 outside of him. How much was that like gamesmanship versus you found a gate that you actually liked and the angle you liked and everything?
I think 3 hole shots came from that gate I was in today. Was honestly kind of surprised he didn't take it. So as soon as he took that one, I'm like, all right, we're going to the one at the box. So for me, I knew that gate was good for some reason. And my first start was horrible. I wheelied, and so second mode I knew I had to get a good start and jumped out good and made it happen. So Kenny got around me for a lap, and then I got him back obviously in that corner after the finish line, and yeah, it was good. It was good racing, and this track I think races really well for how many lines there are, and ever since I've came here, it's always raced good. So it's cool to win here, and I always love this track ever since I've started coming here. So I'm excited to get it done, and Paul next weekend, so I'm excited.
It's been an exciting year. I've never been this close in the points, obviously, at this point in time in the series. So I think we both have elevated the speed of motocross, to be straight up. And that's just the way it's been. It's like every weekend we either flip-flop 1-2 or, whatever. Even Budds Creek was crazy. So it's been a lot of fun. It's going to be a barn burner to the end. I mean, with 2 to go, so 2 races or motos, whatever the heck. I don't know where I'm going with this at this point, but yeah, it's been enjoyable, and yeah, we'll see what happens. May the best man win. I mean, there's no letting off. There's really no gifts at this point, right?
Being that this may be your last season of pro motocross, has it been kind of rewarding or enjoyable that you've had this championship fight the way it is? Like going 24-0 is probably pretty cool, but then having this challenge as well is probably unique and fun, right?
It is. Like however it ends, it's been a fantastic year for myself and the team, and like I said, I don't feel like I've ever been in this position like this, so it's cool, and see what happens.
Yeah. In that second moto, how close was that moment for you? You got kind of high-centered and maybe almost tipped over the other way. What did it feel like? Yeah.
It was sketchy. I probably should have crashed because the ruts here get massive, and I somehow rode over like a 2-foot rut. It's like a straight-up curb. That was unfortunate. I made a big push right before that to get to him, and then I did that, and I'm like, gosh dang it, I kind of lost touch, and obviously it takes a lot of work to get back to there, and I just didn't have the time or I didn't have the opportunity of the lappers to kind of ball him up to get to him that way. So anyway, once again, even day. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I could do. I just I fell in the first corner, and I don't know how it happened because I was in the middle of the pack, and my starts were pretty terrible today. And I just was able to charge and able to make it up to 6, which I was able to make a couple last-minute passes. But with the class the way it is, it's tough to come through like that.
Yeah. Riding-wise today, it seemed like you were pretty solid all day too, just aside from the starts. Did you feel that way on the track?
Yeah, I mean, even the second moto, I think I started like 24th and was able to make it up to 3rd by the end. But at the end, there was that group. It was like, I think, Dunge, Christian, Kenny, and AP. So I was like, oh man, those are some big names to get by, but I was able to do it. And yeah, not too bad of a day.
Did you feel like after how much you had to work in the first moto that the second moto was maybe a little bit harder to kind of, once you got to those guys, actually get around them too?
Yeah, like honestly, this week I didn't ride very much. I kind of had a cold after Buds, and today beginning of the day, I feel like I kind of had a little bit of that NyQuil hangover because I just needed sleep last night and I didn't feel very good. But all in all, yeah, I felt pretty good. I think today was a little bit tougher on me physically just because I had to push through. And yeah, but all in all, I made it positive.
Obviously, you got the penalty in the second moto for the off-track thing. Where did that happen? And kind of talk us through like what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, I was just battling with Dean. Honestly, I was coming through the pack battling with Dean, and I thought he was going to go to the inside, and then he went to start swerving to the outside, and I started crossing over ruts, and I just got squirrely, and I went around the tunnel. I didn't gain a position, but I was going pretty fast. I kind of knew it, and that's kind of where it happened.
From first practice on, like I felt good. I felt like it was going to be a good day, and then I hole shotted. Kenny snuck by me, so I didn't lead any laps, but got that hole shot, so that felt good. And first moto was rough. Like I felt like every line I took was the wrong one, and so I got passed pretty quick. And then second moto, I had a good start, but stayed with that group, so I was stoked with that. And then I passed Dunge and Roxon late in the moto, and actually felt better in that second moto. So. Man, it was all in all, it was like a good day to finally, like, ever since Unadilla, that crash in practice, I felt like off, and I felt like I haven't been able to click with the bike, so finally got over that hump, and yeah, it's perfect timing for Paula next weekend.
Right. Percentage-wise from that crash, are you like back to 100%, or are you still kind of nursing it a little bit?
Nothing's hurt on me. I mean, I hit my head pretty good, but the main thing was like it scared me.
Okay.
Like I was literally scared after that, just the way I hit the ground so hard. And it literally, even after first moto, like I told my wife, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel timid, like I'm riding scared. And she's like, you got to get that out of your head and be like, just ride like you know how. And I think that helps. So it's crazy, like one little slap of the ground and you're back to like riding timid. And it's been such a good year, so I want to keep that going. That's my goal, is to be there every race. And one more round left, so we'll see.
Right, back to that hole shot. Getting out front, did you kind of like almost maybe learn a couple things that you were trying to figure out this year?
Yeah, like I got behind Kenny, and I stayed with him, but then all the guys came in behind me, and then Eli made a quick pass, and I felt like I just got shuffled back so quick. And yeah, like I said, every line I took was the wrong one. I was just like, what is going on? Almost fell in the back. And the track was tricky. Like you had to stick. You pick a line, you stay in it. You're stuck in there for the rest of the turn. So, yeah. Second moto, I'm moving around until I found the good line. So that's what I did. And all in all, it was good. Some good battles with some bad dudes. So we'll keep it going.
Outdoors for me, the last 2 weekends have been nothing short of a struggle. This weekend we came and I've been having a couple like really fluke bike issues, just really odd. No one's fault, and the team's been working hard trying to figure it out. And this week, I actually showed up on Heath Harrison's Loretta race bike. So I was looking to pull some hole shots, and I didn't do that. But, yeah, so went out for practice, and I had the same fluke problem. And the only thing that was the same was the fuel tank. So we switched the fuel tank. We put a stock one on, and we were scared we weren't going to make it. So stock fuel tank, and then the rumor got out that we were going to do a fuel stop. But we didn't end up doing it. Lars at HRC was like, no, I think you'll make it. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Like, because at that point, like, I know it's only 10 to 15 seconds for a fuel stop, but that's kind of a lot of time. Like, by the time you're in the end of the moto, as much as you want to be gapped, you're really not. So that would have probably caused harm. But, yeah, we were able to salvage the day with a 17-15. It's nothing to write home about, but 2 solid motos. And, yeah, I mean, I'm just stoked to finish. This is my last round, so to finish the season strong was good thing for me.
Right. To be safe on fuel, did you guys top off right after the sight lap to make sure too?
Yeah, so we top off each weekend, but this weekend it was like to the rim. Like I'm talking like it was pouring out, so like we were full. We weren't having any problems.
This is kind of like your first real go at outdoors this year. What have you thought about it so far?
Yeah, it's been tough, man. I only did 6 of them, so I thought that jumping in and out wasn't gonna be as hard as it was, but it's tough, especially late in the season. Those guys, they find their where they belong, And so jumping in and out, like Southwick, I went 15-14, then took over a month break, jumped back in at Unadilla, and just struggled street. So, yeah, that part was tough. And next year, I think the team and I will be doing all 12. So I'm really looking forward to that. And honestly, 450 class this year, it's been gnarly. And normally it thins out, and this year it's only gotten stronger. So it's just going to make us all better riders. And that's what I'm looking for, my rookie season, and just trying to make as many progress as I can, or as much progress as I can.
No, I actually had a okay start, but just kind of got pinched. So I had to brake really, really hard. And then I was running fifth for a while, and kind of possibly would have got third, but I on this turn I had Rob fall over on me, and then I had nowhere to go, so I just stuck my front end. And then second moto, much better start, passed right away and put on charge, and just finished it off. So it was great.
It seems like you've obviously been kind of on a roll lately. Do you feel like it's almost easier to get out front and win motos the way that you have since it's been this way these last few weeks for you?
Not easy, but just the nerve thing, getting less and less. So, for me, it's more easy to do my kind of riding, like just like I do in practice. So, for sure, every win is a different feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still second in the championship, moving into the last round. I think you have 7 points on Hunter. How special would second in the championship be for you this year, you think?
Oh, for sure. I mean, every year it gets better and better, and just have to do myself again.
Right. Yeah. What do you think are the key takeaways that you've got this year as well that you're trying to kind of like push towards 2023 being, maybe a title contending year indoors and out for you?
Confidence-wise, for sure it's gonna help a lot. Like right now, feeling good, almost podium every weekend, and which that gives me a lot of confidence. So excited for next couple of years.
I kind of patted my head and all week just telling myself, man, I want that podium, I want it, I can do it, I'm able to do it. Just trying to really believe in myself, and obviously I showed the capabilities and I had the speed and the ability to do it. But once I got close to Thrasher, I was really trying to get him, and about 5 laps in, my arms just started pumping. Probably a little tight because I'm not used to being up there, and I was riding at a very higher intensity than I have, I feel like, all year. I feel like I really showed my natural talent that I had that first moto. I just couldn't keep it. Arms were just completely smoked, and ended up 7-7, yeah.
Settings-wise, did you maybe find something today that was working for you early? Because it seemed like right from the get-go, you felt comfortable to sprint that way too.
A little bit. We changed the bike after practice. Actually, second moto we made a little bit better of a change. I felt way better on the bike. I just really did use my sight lap well because they prepped every outside, and I don't think I hit one inside for the first 5 laps. I was just ripping outsides everywhere. So that really helped me early for sure gain the speed that I had. So I was probably a little bit smarter with my line selection. I kind of knew from last year too they did that same thing where the outsides were good first moto early. I just kind of used my head a little bit, and it was working.
In the second moto, you had the issue with the airbox and then the air filter coming off. Did you feel it going, and when did it happen, and how long did it take you to kind of realize what was happening?
Yeah, I was halfway through the moto, and I didn't even know my airbox cover was off. Okay. So, and the air filter was still completely clipped in, so I didn't notice that at all. And then the top part of it clipped out and started popping out of the side of the bike. So coming into the corners, I couldn't get far back, so I was riding almost kind of dog piss one leg or into the corner. Once I'd get into the corner, I'd take my foot off, no problem, but trying to get it back on, I was trying to squeeze that filter in, and I wanted to try and keep it in as much as possible, so I was trying to stay back and ride feet on the pegs as much as I could because I didn't want that thing to come out. Eventually it came out. I was able to go back to riding normal, but then I was worried about sucking dirt. But Thank God the track prep was so good today because it was wet all day, deep. It had water, so yeah, it stayed tacky and no dust, so got lucky.
So it felt a little bit different. The track was a little bit harder for me to get used to. Just barely squeaked in qualifying, but was able to just be better throughout the day and make the most of it. Second moto was going my way. It was going really good. I was catching up. I think I got a mid-pack start, so had to play catch up from there. But I was running just passed into 14th. Got taken out. Then I think the starter went out in my bike, so couldn't get the bike started. But overall, I'm pumped with how the experience went, and I'm ready to go out to Paula and just have some fun.
So you are going to race Paula Pro next week as well?
Yeah, as of right now, yeah, I should be racing the Pro National.
How much has your plans changed in the last couple of weeks after Loretta's? I mean, were you trying to race Unadilla and they said, maybe we should go back to work, or what was going on with that?
Unadilla wasn't really ever in the talks just because of how close it is with Loretta's. But we were contemplating coming here, going out to Fox for the Pro National, but we just weren't sure if it was going to be the Combine or the Pro National, just with how Loretta's went. Had some bad luck out there as well. But ended up doing this, and I'm glad I did because I've got a lot of experience.
Yeah, well, how much have you learned in these two races? Like, what have you tried to take back with you that you're going to work on to get better for next week even?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing I need to work on is just coming out swinging early in the morning. Like in that time qualifying, you only got one lap to figure out the track, and I've never been here, so this is my first time here. Tried to do as best I could, but not the best in my head. Yeah. But you know what? I just got to keep working on that.
Well, obviously that's kind of the benefit next week is it's home race, home track, so I'm sure the vibes are feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah. I haven't ridden out there in a while, so we're gonna go train out in Cali this next week, and yeah, just try to go have some fun.